Saturday session mobility. Today you will need a foam roller, a cross ball, and a lighter band. We will begin with the foam roller, mainly focusing on the T-spine, side of the rib cage, rolling out the back of the shoulder and armpit, right? Take your time, probably spend about 30 seconds or so on each side. Just take some long passes, get in this lower portion here of the rib cage. Have you ever heard of someone talking about the QL, the quadratus lumborum, and lower back dysfunction? This is where you would be trying to roll out, let's say, that particular muscle if you were able to affect it with a foam roller, let's say. Let's go ahead and switch sides now. Same idea. Side of the rib cage, long passes, back of the shoulder. Let's get in that armpit. All right, now let's take some long passes just through the whole back, right? Arms overhead. You can put your hands together like this if you can. Keep your hips high. Keep some activity through the abs, especially as you get towards that lumbar. Now, take the foam roller. Let's get it right around that mid-back area, right below the shoulder blades or right at the shoulder blades. Tuck your pelvis a little bit just to make sure you're not giving up the lumbar too easily. Support the head so you don't just drop your head back. And we're gonna go through 30 seconds of T-spine extension. So tuck your chin, squeeze your abs, try to relax backwards over the foam roller, crunch up back to the center, back to neutral. Just take your time, work through this range of motion. Don't force it. As soon as it feels like you're running out of room, because again, you're just letting your head drop backwards, come back up. Got about 15 more seconds. Okay, moving on, T-spine rotations, the open book stretch. So, I'm gonna squeeze the foam roller between the legs. Start here, I'm gonna go through 5 reps. I'm running into the wall. Hopefully you don't run into the wall, right? I'm just gonna bend that elbow, you guys, to keep that straight arm. One more time. Switching sides. So, same idea. Squeeze that foam roller, 90 degrees. Open it up. Remember, keep that straight arm all the way through for you guys. 5 times. All right. So now, let's put the foam roller to the side. Done with that for now. We're gonna go into a Cobra. Drop your hips down, squeeze your butt. Just for a second. Now we're gonna rock all the way back into that child's pose. Again, just for one breath. Up into down dog, right? So plank, let's push it back through the shoulders, knees lock, heels down. Looking for a big stretch through the posterior chain, right? Your calves, your hamstrings, glutes, maybe lower back. All right, down into the lizard. Left foot forward, right knee down. 30 seconds. Fifteen more. Now I have my right leg behind me. I'm going to take my right arm up towards the ceiling now. I'm going to hold that position for 30 seconds. So I'm going to push down through my left arm, begin to rotate here in my upper body, follow with my head, and we'll be here for 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. We've got about 15 seconds left. Almost there. All right, that hand's gonna go back. Foot's gonna go back. Let's pop it up into another down dog. Push it back, lock it out. And down we come. Other side lizard, right leg forward, left knee down. Just gonna settle into this for about 30 seconds. All right, same story. This time I'm gonna push my right arm into the floor, start rotating up through the upper body here. I'll bring my left arm up as high as I can. And again, we're gonna take this for 30 seconds. About 10 more seconds. And now that hand's gonna come back down. Foot's gonna go back. Downward dog again. Push back just for a second. And then pass down back through that cobra. You can drop your toes back right now. Squeeze your butt, lift your chest. Bring your head to neutral. Rotate all the way to your left. Breathe in, exhale, rotate all the way to your right. Breathe in, exhale, back to the center. Pass it back through that child's pose. And then right up. Next, I'm gonna grab the band. We're gonna go over to the wall. This first one here, we're gonna take your knee closest to the wall, push it into the wall. Arms out here in front. We don't need a lot of band tension. We're just gonna have one arm straight out here in front. You can keep it here. You can also push it into the wall. We're gonna go through a set of 15 reps. I'm gonna extend and rotate across. I'm pushing my right knee into the wall. I'm pushing my right arm into the wall as I pull apart and rotate across. That's about 5 there. I'm gonna go through 10 more. I'm squeezing my butt on the left sides. Activity through the core. Five more. All right, switching it around. Left leg comes up, that knee is in the wall, right leg's back, right glute on, left arm here. Again, pull it apart, rotate back and extend. 15 reps. Pushing my left knee into the floor, into the wall rather. Push my left arm into the wall. About 10 more. Five times more. All right. Now, the lacrosse ball, and we're making a move. And we're back. So, moving on to that lacrosse ball. What I want you to think about doing, we're gonna scrub behind the shoulder blades. Think of where your spine is. Think of where that shoulder blade is, and either we're going to be on the inside of the shoulder blade, maybe towards the outside of the shoulder blade, and then most certainly we will get behind the shoulder. So, I'm going to start with one side at a time. I'm going to put it right behind my left shoulder. I'm going to work a little bit behind the left shoulder, and then I'm going to start to go in between the spine and the inside of my shoulder blade. I'm going to discuss just some of the options of what we're going to do as we scrub through, again, the shoulder blade area to the left of the spine and behind the shoulder. As you find these trigger points, right, if I find something that's a little gnarly there, I can stay there, use my legs to push back into the wall, and then I have movement that I can do at my arm. I will externally rotate my arm as I come overhead, internally rotate a bit here as I come across, and then I can also adduct and abduct the arm across. You can go diagonally like this as well. Just keep searching and looking around. We're gonna be here for about maybe 3 minutes or so on each side, because again, you're gonna cover the back of this shoulder, and you should be doing this right now because you are following along, right? So the back of this shoulder, up and down. Again, see I'm squatting up and down, just lightly massaging the inside of that shoulder blade, but again, not over the spine. Working around the whole shoulder blade. Again, trying to grab some of that upper trap. Then we're back here behind the shoulder again. About 1 more minute, let's say, left on this side. Again, just trying to accumulate time, just doing a little self-myofascial release to the back of the shoulder. Hopefully free up some motion for that shoulder blade, because do not forget, when you think of your arm and your shoulder, this arm bone and the scapular, they are moving everywhere together. So you want to make sure you have enough slack and enough freedom of motion for the shoulder blade, as that will also give you freedom of motion at that ball and socket joint. We are going to switch sides now. So again, I'm going to start right here behind the back of my shoulder. This will give you a little bit of a different angle too from that side to maybe see what I'm working on. But again, as long as it doesn't feel too painful, again, think of a deep tissue muscle massage. Someone's going to be over the top of you with their thumbs, elbows, fists, maybe their knees, maybe they're stepping on you. And there's a lot of us out there that say, oh yeah, more. Let's make that a little harder. I want more pressure. This is the same thing. But again, if I'm rolling out the back of my right shoulder and I feel this in my pinky or my fingers, it's traveling, it's getting nervy, then I gotta move over. I'm going over something that's a little too tied up, and I don't wanna keep trying to ring that bell either. I'm gonna move now to the back of my shoulder blades a little bit more. A little that upper trap, lower trap, movement here, right? So again, internally rotate on the way down, externally rotate on the way up. Remember, we can come across the body and adduct, abduct, diagonally across, 360 degrees, 3D, 4D, 4K. Keep looking. I'm gonna give it another minute on this side. Again, use your legs to either push into the ball more or to help you continue to travel around. At times, you're gonna feel like you need to move the ball, and that's all right. One more thing on this too, if you are doing this post-workout, and you're really sweaty, and you feel like you're sliding all over the lacrosse ball and you can't get any traction, you're right, that is what's happening. Either you're gonna have to dry off, get a different shirt, or just scrap it and use, again, maybe a rumble roller or something like that and just do it on the floor. All right, that is gonna be it for the ball for now. Back to the floor. Okay, back at the floor again. I'm gonna set up in a little bit of a straddle position. I'm gonna get rid of this lacrosse ball. So in the saddle position, again, maybe you need to put something underneath your butt, prop you up a little bit, or if you need to sit on something, you just can't get into a position like this. The lower body is just kind of coming for the ride right now. The next part of this is what we did also on Thursday, are those eagle arms. So I'm just gonna turn a little bit to the side, Remember, it's elbow under elbow, hands come together like this, or any version of this. Remember, it can be this stretch also too for the back of the shoulder. If you can't get your arms up at all, if you can't even get them in, right? So either you would grab the arm like this, or if you can get all the way to these bent elbows, let's start here. I'm gonna do 30 seconds, big breathing, inhaling into where I feel the tension. And as I breathe out, I'm gonna try to push back more. I'm gonna lift my arms up in the air, 30 seconds, starting right now. About 10 more seconds. All right, now switching sides. Other elbow under, other elbow over, however you want to look at it. Bring the arms together. Just remember, eventually you're trying to rotate these palms all the way together. Nice long straight position here. 30 seconds. Lots of breathing, let's go. About 10 more seconds. All right, arms come down. If you're getting sketchy in the legs, let's come out of those too. Let's go into a cross shin position. So, cross shin like this. Right now I got left leg in front of the right. A couple ways to look at this is that if you cannot get into this position, the first thing you can start to do is just bring those legs out in front, right? So I still have left leg in front of the right. Again, if it had to be something like this, because again, you just cannot get them crossed at all, that is okay, but what would be better would be to get into a more cross position, take something like, again, maybe that foam roller we have, prop that up underneath you like this, and then from there, you can again, go into these outer hip, posterior hip, lower back stretches that we would be doing, right? So I'm gonna prop mine back here because I do not need it. I'm gonna walk out with my arms. And again, here I'm just gonna breathe in. On the exhale, try to relax forward more. We'll be here for 30 seconds. And about 15 more. Bringing it back, switching the legs around, so now I got right leg in front of left. Again, lean it forward. Walking it back to the top. Now, you can either at this point put your legs out in front of you, go cross leg, go saddle. What we're gonna work on now are just some neck stretches. What I want you to think about is every time we change position for these neck stretches, you're gonna wanna reset and start back in neutral. And what that's gonna look like is just pulling that chin in, right? Lengthening here at the back of the neck, just so we don't start from here and then start pulling on the neck too much in those positions. So, nice and tall here at the top. I'm gonna pull my chin in. Now, the first direction I wanna go is ear towards shoulder. So I'm not reaching over like this. I pull my chin in, ear goes towards shoulder, and if I wanna encourage it a little bit, I can use the tips of my fingers only, just to pull down just so slightly. I'll hold that for 2 or 3 seconds, and then now come back to the top, reset to neutral, and then again, ear to shoulder, Encourage it again with the fingertips. Stretch is going to come right through the side of the neck here. Just a couple seconds. Back to the center. Chin comes in. I'm going to look all the way to my right. Drop my chin down like I'm looking at this pocket. And then again, now I'm going to grab from the top of my head, pull down lightly. Again, chin just coming down towards the chest. Eyes are looking down towards the pocket. Very lightly pulling, just using my fingertips. I'm not using my whole hand. Again, back up the way I came, back to neutral, all the way to my left. Chin goes down, looking at the pocket, fingertips to head, lightly, 2 or 3 seconds. Again, back up the way I came, back to here, neutral, chin down. So now chin is taken down towards the collarbone, down towards the chest, right? And then again, same thing, just lightly with the fingertips, encouraging my chin to come back towards my throat. More also lifting up the chest here a little bit. Back to here, again, reset to neutral, and now I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna lead with the chin. It's like I'm trying to bring my chin and reach upwards with it towards the ceiling. Back to neutral. And that's gonna be it for today. If you wanna cycle back through those neck stretches again, maybe 5 or 10 seconds per position. Do not pull really hard. The 2 big areas I tell people to be the most careful with are when you're trying to stretch your wrists, or especially when you're stretching your neck. You know, if it's the quads or the hamstring strings, it's something a little bigger, you can pull on a little bit more. You can get away with that. The neck is something that when you go for that big neck stretch and you go to straighten your head again, it might not come back so fast, or it might not be coming back that day, and you're gonna be in agony there for a little bit, right? So that's it for Saturday's mobility session. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and yeah, share it with somebody.